Hey guys, this is going to be my first instructional video, and it's going to be really simple and straightforward. I'm going to show you guys how to really quickly change any knitting chart that you want to into a Tunisian crochet chart. It'll only take you like 2 seconds. Alright, are you ready? Okay, so to demonstrate what I'm talking about, I came up with this little pattern. I made a knitting graph chart, whatever you want to call it, and I just made a rough little circle here, and when you work in Tunisian crochet, and when you work in knitting too, you start at the bottom, and you work your way to the top. And most knitting graphs will have a number down here that'll tell you what column you're working on, and along the side it'll show you what rows you're working on. Well, when you take a knitting graph that looks like this and try to use it for Tunisian crochet, you end up with a product that looks like this. Tunisian crochet stitches are taller than they are wide, and when you have a knitting graph, the stitches are wider than they are tall, because that's what it is in knitting. So if you try to make a circle using a knitting chart, you wind up with this fun little oblong thing, which no matter how you twist it, does not look anything like that dot. Now, if you just cannot figure out a way to get a dot any other way, you do the simplest thing possible. You just come down here and you flip it. Now, come on, zoom in. Oh, of course. Anyway, and now you have the exact same shape nearly, except it's turned on its side. So now each of these boxes is taller than it is wide. When you do it this way, you start at the bottom again and work your way up, and you come out with something that looks like this. These look much closer than the other one, clearly. One thing to remember though is that if you are using a knit pattern and you're doing like a picture, something other than like a dot, you will be working it sideways. So when you're done, you're going to have to turn your piece to get the actual picture. If that bothers you, you're going to have to find a way to make a graph that has boxes that are taller than they are wide. I tried to do this with another pattern, but ironically it nearly worked out, just backwards, almost, kind of. I was going to use this as my basic pattern to show you. This is what it came out looking like. This is when you worked from bottom to top, that exact pattern. See, it's going diagonally up like it's like that. And it came out looking really similar, just really tall. But then when I twisted it, and did it that way, it came out looking nearly identical. And then if I wanted that picture to be the way it was in the thing, I just turn it sideways. And so technically, when I'm done, my Tunisian stitches are going from side to side instead of up and down. But that is how you change any knitting graph into a Tunisian graph in 2 seconds.